The Space Marines of the Blood Ravens chapter were well entrenched in their castellum in North Vandia when they finally faced an all-out attack. Utterly unwilling to surrender or retreat any further, the Blood Ravens prepared a mighty defense against the coming assault. Among those defending the keep were Space Marines drawn from the chapter's hallowed First Company. These were the hardened veterans of many crusades, each man ready and able to face down whole squads of enemy attackers. The Blood Ravens on the ground would be further bolstered by fresh troops arriving from the battle barge Litania Fury in orbit around the planet. Only two factors made the Blood Ravens at all assailable in their stronghold. Most critically, the fortress was unable to receive reinforcements directly from orbit. Captain T'au thus had to establish a forward base to receive drop pods and landing craft. Although well defended, this base could be taken. Secondly, the Space Marines had established their base near ancient ruins, which the Ravens claimed held relics of great importance to the chapter. Unwilling to desecrate the space by fortifying it, T'au opened the door to an enemy claiming the area and thus dealing a powerful blow to the normally unbreakable Space Marine morale. The Battle of North Vandia would be one of the bloodiest of the entire war.
The enemy is at our doorstep and thinks he can push us off this world. He is already gloating. He can taste his victory. But what he fails to see is that we will make this his last meal. The Chief Librarian has ordered the purge of this world to protect our chapter's secrets. Are we to retreat with our duty unfulfilled? Are we to let a black mark stain the banner of the Blood Ravens? I say that we will not. I say our enemies will regret the day they ever decided to face us in battle. Our battle barge orbits overhead and will rain the Emperor's holy fury upon our opponents. More of our brothers will come to join the fight. But as ever, our enemy outnumbers us. Each of you must be an army in your own right. Veterans of the First Company, the finest of the entire chapter, stand with us. Let their valor guide your fire into the enemy's heart. Remember that we are Blood Ravens, brothers. We have all sworn to protect fonts of hidden knowledge. Each one of us must fall before handing this word to the enemy. The Emperor is with us. The unknown Primarch is with us. They have come for our blood, but they will drown in their own.
Surrender, human. If not for you, then for the greater good.
The greater good is coming to you from my bolter, alien.
Do the deaths of your soldiers mean so little to you? Are you that mad?
Do the deaths of yours mean so much to you, alien? Are you that weak? Reinforcements have arrived! To battle, Blood Ravens!
For the Emperor!
Ready to do our part. Consider it ready to do our part. XP.
We'll get them. This trip will be
Eliminate the prey.
Hold the relay station! We must keep in touch with the Litany of Fury!
Wipe it out. Gunship on the move. The patient will tell us where's the prey. Firing! Just tell us.
The enemy is trying to cut off our reinforcements! Drive them back!
Ready for action. Cut them down. Bring down the rain of fire. Ready. The patient on fire against
Bring them the Emperor's wrath, brothers!
we'll wipe it out.
Make it happen. We will make it happen. No problem.
Enemies are near the chapel, brothers! Close ranks and attack! You will not squelch our faith so easily, alien.
The T'au Empire will respect your faith, human, if you would only see reason.
Our faith is in the Emperor of Man, alien. To bow to you is heresy.
Then you follow the path to destruction.
Better destruction than bondage.
So says the slave to the free man. You should have surrendered, Guayla. Now it is too late.
Come on, then. Your death awaits.
All systems ready.
Hold the east gate at all costs!
They've fallen into the pin them down and eliminate them. Mark the target. Like T'au, we shall triumph.
No! We cannot fail.
The gene seed must be preserved. Get Captain Fuel to the Thunderhawk. Understood. Join them, Brother Apothecary. We will cover your escape. And you? We cannot allow the enemy to claim our relics. This area must be cleansed with orbital fire. The chapter will honor you, brother. There is no honor to be had in defeat. But someone must deliver the targeting beacon. Orbital control. Lock onto this beacon and fire. Full power.
T'au forces and Space Marines had clashed on Cronus during the Damocles Gulf Crusade. But these had been small hit-and-run engagements. The T'au assault on North Vandia was something else altogether, with Okais leading his troops in an assault on the entrenched and well-defended Blood Ravens. Warriors of the Emperor, the Space Marines left many T'au and Kroot dead, but were unable to hold back Okais' tide. When the Blood Ravens left Cronus, many of their finest soldiers lay dead in North Vandia. In the Blood Ravens, Onel Shiorez saw what he considered the worst of the Imperium of Man. The Ethereal called their faith madness, and their purge of Cronus murder on a global scale. He chose thus to preserve the remains of the Space Marine fortress in North Vandia as an example of the opposition the greater good faced in the wider galaxy. Upon arriving on Cronus, General Lucas Alexander became governor militant and set about reclaiming the planet for the Imperium. When his enemies launched attacks on his capital, he prepared to...
Fifth Company, this is the moment of truth. You will not fear. You will not falter. You will not give a single step to the enemy.
But sir...
If you will not serve in combat, then you will serve on the firing line.
Enemies of the Imperium, hear me. You have come here to die. The immortal Emperor is with us, and we are invincible. His soldiers will strike you down. His war machines will crush you under their treads. His mighty guns will bring the very sky crashing down upon you. You cannot win. The Emperor has given us his greatest weapon to wield. So make yourselves ready. We are the 1st Cronus Regiment, and today is our victory day.
It is a pleasure.
It would serve the greater good if you would lay down arms, human. This planet shall be returned to the T'au Empire, as is proper.
You have no claim to this city or this world, alien.
Service required.
Your political officer could not see reason, human, but it is not too late for you to spare your men further suffering.
Every soldier of the Imperium will gladly lay down his life to stop you.
You needed fire support? It will be so.
The aliens are at the gates, men! Drive them back!
Your men have fought well, human, but your end is upon you.
The patient
Never!
Gets the brain. The patient hunter gets the brain. On the target, and we'll cut them. Cut them down. Pick your targets. Don't let the prey get away. Don't let the prey get away.
The command post is gone. We can't hold them back much longer. We can't allow the Titan cannon to fall into their hands. Overload the core.
For the Emperor!
Although other powers on Cronus threatened the T'au forces there with outright extermination, the Imperial Guard forces, centered in Victory Bay, threatened the legitimacy of the T'au claim to the world. Given the aliens' unshakable faith in their own cause, this was in many ways the greater threat. And Okais led his forces into Victory Bay as crusaders against heresy more than anything. This drive ultimately overcame the defenses set up by Governor Militant Alexander's forces. In the aftermath of the battle, the T'au rounded up the surviving guardsmen and established a re-education camp in an attempt to make them betray the God Emperor and embrace the T'au cause. Many resisted, most notably a Kasserkin squad which managed to escape into the countryside and launch a small guerrilla campaign. But others succumbed and surrendered all they knew to the T'au. In the years to come, the forces of the Imperium would have reason to rue this last betrayal, as T'au forces struck at weak points on several planets. With the last enemy stronghold broken, The T'au hold on Cronus became secure once again. The task force sent from the T'au homeworld remained on the planet to secure it, and soon thereafter, further waves of settlers and colonists arrived from across the Empire. The humans left on Cronus found life increasingly difficult for them. Many had embraced the Imperial return, and now found themselves subject to re-education or other penalties. Intensive colonization by T'au and Crute led to a rapid demographic swing, with the human population dwindling to less than 5% a decade after the Dark Crusade. Although no public announcements were ever made to this effect, it seems clear that human births on Cronus also dropped precipitously. In part, this is due to the single-gender re-education camps imposed by the T'au. But it is also possible that the alien powers undertook some form of sterilization project, all for the so-called greater good. Whatever the truth, when Cronus was admitted as a full sept of the so-called Third Sphere, its human population was but a footnote.